Hello guys, it's Dom here from Esports News UK. Thanks for joining us today. Today I'm joined by two newcomers to the UK Masters in the UK League of Legends scene. Guys, would you like to introduce yourselves, please? Starting with you, Alex.
Oh, hi, I'm Alex Bowley, team manager for, Radix Esports League of Legends team, and my in-game name's Officer Naughty.
Alright, hello, my name is Kirito. My real life name is David Kopman, and I'm the top laner for Radix Esports.
Excellent. Okay, well, thanks very much for joining us today, guys. So yeah, like I was saying, you guys have qualified this week for the Summer UK Masters after you beat Enclave Dawn. I guess, first of all, could you start by telling us a bit about yourselves? So maybe your background in League of Legends and in esports, just a bit about yourselves.
Alright, you want to start?
Wait, I'll go first, yeah. Mine's pretty short. Well, all I've really played is just some platinum tournaments, really, for like the ESL. It was like the Gold Platinum Open Cups and all those sorts of things. Apart from that, not really much, just a bit of solo queuing, but started getting into team management probably like recently in the last year. That's about it with me.
Cool.
Okay. I've been playing League of Legends since Season 1. At the start, I was mostly just playing for fun. And then when I realized that I was like always at the top of the ladder, I started to play a little bit more competitive. I started with the German league first, called EPS. But I pretty much always made my own teams at this point, because I felt like I was a really good talent scouter.
Mm.
And then I moved on into the Turkish scene because I heard that it's a lot of money in there and that they're creating their own LCS league.
Yeah.
So I started to play there. My first Turkish Challenger Series splits with BPI Academy, which was already an LCS team, and they made their first academy team.
Yeah.
And then I moved onto FMF Esports Club, and then Aurora Esports Club, which was my first Turkish LCS team.
Yeah.
Right, and then I moved back into Challenger Series because I got benched. I played for Team 2 Quality, which was a relegated Turkish LCS team. And then I played for LVP, which is the biggest Spanish league. I played there for PAM Esports, which is now Origin Esports, the Spanish one, not the Europe like LCS one, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and now I'm playing the UK league.
Cool. Okay, so Kirito, you've had you're experienced in League of Legends. You've been playing since Season 1, right? How has it sort of changed since day one, you know, and how do you think the sort of UK scene, well, from what you've seen so far, compares to the Turkish and the Spanish leagues?
There's definitely more viewers. There's more, I would not say hype, but I think people take it more seriously, all the games. And definitely people are investing much more money into other scenes. For example, they're getting Korean imports and stuff for their teams, which is I guess not the case for UK scene yet. That might expand, of course.
No, not at all. And I guess one of the main reasons I wanted to get you guys on this week was Kirito, you sort of made headlines this week on Esports News UK after tweeting claiming that the UK scene is the easiest ever, and UK Masters will be free money, and you'll hit rank 1. And ADC player and UK scene veteran Toaster said that if you think UK scene is easy, then you'll soon learn your lesson. And what was the thinking behind that tweet, Kirito? Was it to generate hype and rile up the scene, or were you sort of expressing your honest thoughts at the time?
Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. Before we joined the UK Masters qualifiers, I was already playing with 2 of the members in a France qualifier. and we performed pretty well. We reached the finals, but then we dropped out in the end.
Yeah.
And we played against really strong teams, like top Spanish teams and stuff, and also the best like France teams. So obviously, coming into UK Masters qualifiers, we were really confident.
Yeah.
So when we played the first qualifier matches, I just made a funny joke that it's gonna be like the easiest league ever, because obviously we didn't play against strong teams. But I don't think it's like a complete blank statement, because I really trust into my teammates. Like, I'm 100% confident that my mid laner is the best one in this league, and that my jungler is about top 2 of all UK junglers that I know. So yeah, we will work hard, of course, and I will try to make that tweet reality.
Yeah, cool. Okay, and did you expect anyone to write an article about it? You know, were you aware of my site, and did you expect the reaction that
no,
tweet
obviously
generated?
Not. No, like usually when I tweet something, people don't like respond to it, because I'm not really a famous person, and I guess it just started escalating when Toaster started to answer on this one.
Yeah.
And then it just escalated, but it's fine. I can live with it. It creates hype, and I think this is the most important thing for a league that is not as big as other leagues yet.
Yeah, do you know what? Like I was saying to you guys just before we went live, when we was doing the sound check, when I first saw the tweet, I was thinking, who's this guy? He's quite arrogant, you know, coming into the scene. But then I realised afterwards, actually, you did generate a bit of hype, and you got people talking, and I think people saw that it was banter, you know, it was a bit of fun. And, you know, I follow Gross Gore, the League of Legends streamer, and in a way it reminds me of, like, him a little bit. Not his personality, but in terms of he generates hype. He's got good marketing through that sort of banter and those outlandish comments, you know. Do you think the UK scene needs a bit of more of that hype building?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I mean, when I played the other leagues, I've never heard like anything about the UK league. I never knew that, like, I never knew about the prize money. I never knew what players played there. Like, I was completely uninformed. And I think this is a big problem, because I'm pretty sure that many people don't know anything about the UK league, even though it's published on the Riot clients.
Yeah.
Like, they announce it, but still, I mean, I think it needs much more hype.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely needs more hype. Like, there's just the skill level of teams, from what I've heard of, that are entering this Masters are definitely like a lot higher in skill than what I've seen before. Like, with not a massive knowledge of the UK scene, but just like a bit. So like, the more hype the UK scene gets, the better. Yeah, with players that you mentioned earlier, players like Toaster, players like Candy Floss, are like really well-known UK players, and hopefully there's some teams that can actually try and beat these teams this time round. Some of the teams that are entering, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Just before we talk about your roster and some of the other players in the UK league's scene, in your qualifier match against Enclave the other day, Kirito, you made a nice play in the top lane with Gragas, which actually made it into a highlight video with other league players. I think it's called Fun of Legends on YouTube, and that got over 80,000 views. You know, we don't really see those kind of views in the UK scene. I know Jokerism, an ADC, he does some good montage videos and things like that, but what are your thoughts on that? You know, were you expecting to get picked up into a highlights video or anything?
No, it was completely like random. I mean, I did not expect it at all, but when I saw it, I was happy, because obviously it's nice when you get like into a video of a YouTuber who is quite famous.
Yeah, definitely. And so moving on to your roster, guys. Alex, you guys mentioned Demo earlier, and I thought he was one of the best junglers in the last split in the ESL Premiership. He was playing with Cyclone, and he played some really fantastic games. I think I remember a couple with Lee Sin, where he was just, I can't remember what it was, 14-0 or something like that, you know. But you also have other players that have experience in the UK scene. You've got Berserker or Best UK ADC, and you've got Snuggli as well. Can you tell us a bit about why you formed this roster and about the players? Because I'm not actually familiar with your mid laner, ScarletRedHands.
Oh yeah. ScarletRedHands. He's also an Austrian player, like Kirito, but it's not really played too much competitively from what he said. Like definitely none in the UK, but he might have played some other leagues, maybe like something. But he's not played a lot at all. But he's like a quite high challenger mid lane main. He's got 2 accounts, he says, in challenger. Yeah. Which is like, it's pretty good. And he used to run under like a number sort of name. I don't know what the numbers ever stood for, but it was like 1, 3, 2, 5, something like that, 9, like some random numbers. Okay. But yeah, no, definitely we've brought him in along with Kirito as our 2 imports to hopefully he can give some of the top UK mids a run for their money. I don't think he's really lost the lane yet, especially in the UK Masters qualifiers and this the French one we did for the Geek Days. I don't think he lost the lane, and his Kassadin's really impressive to watch, and it seems to get banned out quite a lot now. So that's our story on him. Yeah. But as far as the bot lane, yeah, I've heard of the bot lane before, Berserker and Snuggli, because they played on a team together. It might have been the last Prem split. They were playing on a team together, and so we were trialing out quite a lot of UK players like bot lanes before this. We tried out some of the other teams that we saw from the UK Prem, some of their bot lanes, but we ended up going with Berserker and Snuggli as a sort of like, because they sort of have experience together already. But Snuggli's been on holiday, so he's come back now. So we're hopefully going to try and get some scrims together now with the new roster. Yeah. Because we played with a substitute for the Masters. Is one of my sister's friends from school. Really, she said that he was like Diamond 3 support. So I was like, all right, okay, because our main support's on holiday, let's just bring this guy in. Otherwise, like, I would have to play. So like he played really well. To be fair to him, like just coming out of nowhere. Yeah. He played really well. The Optimus HD. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Oh right, I didn't realise that. I assumed it was Snuggli playing with a different in-game name or something like that. But you've got a sub.
No, he's been on holiday. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, we weren't meant to have a sub, but we ended up going with Snuggli in the end, and he couldn't play the first qualifier, and we didn't really want to miss out on the first qualifier, just in case like some of the bigger teams didn't enter, which they didn't in the end. So it was good that we managed to get him to play for us over the 2 days, and he did well. Ended up qualifying with us.
Cool. Yeah. And Kirito, how do you feel the roster in terms of like its team cohesion and things like that? Are you happy with your players? How do you feel the team sort of cohesion is like?
I think every single player is very disciplined. They listen to the shot caller, they communicate, they team play, and they have macro knowledge as well. Mechanically, they are not really like weaker than our opponents that we have faced yet. So like obviously this will change, so we will have to find ways to overcome the struggle of early game pressure, but I'm pretty confident that we have enough time to fix those issues before the Masters start.
Sure. And guys, in the Twitch chat is quite active today. If you have any questions, do send them in while I go through the next few questions. We've got a question from Carl Carlson, who said, Kirito's so handsome. And he said, how do you guys think your coach is doing in his position? You've got an import coach or something, right? Is that him?
Yeah, that is him.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, the thing is, he wanted us to talk about it, but to be fair to him, he has really done well with the team, especially in the Geek Days and in the Masters qualifier. He's always in every pick and ban phase. He's always doing really well, and he puts in so much like time and effort into the team before, where he's and it pays off. Like he always seems to know what to ban, and he knows what they're going to pick. The other team's going to pick before they even pick it. Like it's incredible to hear him talk about it like that. And he's got an offer to play to coach one of the teams in the CSQ, the Polite and Mature. I think I'm not sure it's Polite and Mature, but they've got like another name as well. So he's coaching there for the next week or 2 weeks. I don't know how long the CSQ is before he comes back to us. So that's going to provide him with a lot of good experience.
So, sorry, is that Carl Carlson who's going away to do work with Polite and Mature, did you say? I interviewed the Polite and Mature coach the other week, Kazahaya, I think his name is. He's a guy from the UK. So I don't know if they've got another coach or if he's left or anything, but they
No,
qualified
I think
for
they're
Ragnarok, I think.
yeah, definitely. I think they're working together. I think Carl Carlson, who's Lee, our coach, I think he's meant to be the main head coach, whereas the guy you just mentioned there, I think he's the analyst. But that's I think that's how they're working. But the bot lane Darksider and Quickseth is what we used in the French qualifier. So that's where they met Lee, and they said Lee was really good. So we've got some time now before the Masters, like the main part of the Masters starts. So it's good for him to get a bit more experience while we swim in things.
Sure, and we've got a question here from JakeyReynolds, I think from Digital Warfare, saying, who is your real chief, Alex?
Basically, I've known Jake since like maybe I was like 11 or 12 years old. Well, when we was really young, we played Warcraft 3.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
we played Warcraft 3 together. Yeah, that's where we first met. And yeah, we used to be in a clan there, which I'm completely blanked and forgotten the name of. But we used to play a lot of because that's when we started playing like they had that Dota thing in Warcraft 3. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, that's where it came from, right? That was the original Dota Defense of the Ancients, I think it was called.
Yeah, Defense of the Ancients. Yeah, they had it in Warcraft 3, and we played that along with a lot of other games like Battle for Middle Earth and Silma. There's a lot of games like that. But yeah, so he's going back all the way to where we started, which was like ages ago. But yeah, I was with Digital Warfare with him for a bit, but afterwards just moved on to this.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, you guys mentioned you'll be playing in the UK Masters. What are your goals this split with the team? Are you hoping to go far and qualify for the ESL Premiership as well? And get into the CSQs? Your aims to get out of the UK scene? What are you sort of looking towards?
Well, definitely. We've with this move to Radix, which is our new esports organisation, we're really looking at trying to get at least the aim is to try and get top 4 in this Masters. Like that would be really impressive, I think, for us if we manage to get top 4 of the 8 in the Masters, and then definitely qualify for the Prem in the next split. So hopefully doing top 4 in the Masters, going to Insomnia as like a team, like bringing everyone over, and then going to and then doing the Premiership is like qualify. I think that's like our main 3 main 3 goals and aims at the moment. Definitely. I don't know if Kirito has anything else. Just trying to achieve.
Yeah, I would really like to meet the players in real life as well. So I would definitely try my best that we can reach the LAN event.
Yeah.
And then from that, I will probably get interviewed again, I guess. So, like, there will be more banter and stuff. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, definitely. We've built up quite a nice little group of us at the moment. Like starting with Lotus, when we were Lotus Gaming, we've like formed quite a good bond. So it's good. It'd be good to meet everyone.
I was going to ask about that as well. I'm just going to let Grievance know. Grievance was a manager from the UK scene that went and's been with CLG the past few months in North America, and I think he's coming back now probably to UK scene or to do something else, and he's just asking who you guys are. So he missed the start. So if Grievance having a go at you for not being here at 5 o'clock like you should have been, but basically it's 2 of the guys from a team known as Lotus Gaming who qualified for the UK Masters this week, and Kirito put out a tweet saying that the UK scene is the easiest ever and it's free money and it got loads of people talking and generated a bunch of hype and everything. So guys, I want to ask about Lotus Gaming. So you were with them, and then Radix, you've joined Radix. Why did you make that move to Radix?
Well, mostly we're with Lotus Gaming is run by a guy called Carolis, Carolis, Lee, who's the coach, and a guy called Will. We all sort of like built it up together. They had a team for Ragnarok ages ago, and then decided to like turn their attention to the UK scene, and we sort of like built this team as Lotus Gaming, and we had like some funding from ASN Esports, which is like the big organisation.
Yeah.
And they were like offering to take us to pay for Insomnia and stuff, was what they were saying. But they're not from the UK. I can't remember where they're from. I think they're from like the Middle East sort of area. They've got lots of teams in mobile gaming and things like that. So we decided to take the whole of Lotus Gaming. Like we've just moved it all into Radix, because obviously they have quite a lot of like an experience in the UK master scene for CS:GO, and they know so much more about it than we do from just researching and things like that. And they're going to offer what ASN offered with helping us get into LANs and things like that and more. So we thought it was the right move to make, because it's quite hard to do it on your own. Like none of us could afford to bring everyone to LAN with our own money. So it's good to have a sort of like backing, but not just for money, but more for their experience and their knowledge of the scene and what they can help us out with, is what we went with in the end.
I know Afro as well, the owner of Radix, who seems to be, he knows the UK scene pretty well. I think his background's in CS:GO. This is his first, in the news story we put up, he sent us a statement saying, it seems like an ideal time to get into League. And it's interesting for me, a lot of those old veteran UK League teams like Choke Gaming and FM Esports and Team Infused, they've all gone out of League, but we've had newcomers like yourselves, like Radix, like even M&M and Enclave sort of fill that void, so for me it's good to see newcomers like yourselves coming into the scene. I'm just going to ask a few more questions from Twitch chat, because I've got a few more on my own. There's a few silly ones in here. Snuggli said, can you ask Alex if I can have his sister's Facebook?
No, I can't believe it. The cheek of this guy. Like, we've added him to all our group chats and stuff. He's done absolutely nothing for the team so far. He's done nothing in qualifiers. We've had a sub for the whole thing, and he's sort of like he's just like, if you see him on Twitter and stuff, he's tweeting to people, like just trying to start stuff and trying to wind people up, and he's done nothing so far. So hopefully, if he starts proving himself, then the world's his oyster, I guess. Then. Sure. Whatever happens. And
Dakinlol has asked you, Kirito, why you became a weeb. I'm guessing this is in reference to your Twitter picture, right? As an anime thing.
Yeah.
That's just a.
Well, I just like enemies. That's it.
That's fair enough. I don't know why there were some people sort of having a go at you on Twitter for that, and I was thinking, why are they doing that? I don't know.
Like, I think 1 year ago or 2 years ago, the word weeb didn't even exist. Like, people didn't even insult people who watched animes and stuff. But then suddenly this kind of stuff started. So I don't know what people hate about it. Maybe it's just cringy for them, but I guess everyone is different.
There's a few more here. There's a question from Whittier Spice for you, Alex, saying, will the Optimus HD be seeing a full-time position on the roster?
Yeah, we spoke to him about this when we were asking him to play for the team, really, and because we brought him in as a sub, but he's like, I think he's doing his A-levels at the moment, so he said he's focusing on that. But I've told him that once he's done his A-levels, to definitely come back, and we'll give him a trial for the second team that we're creating at the moment, or even try and use him in the future again for the main team if Snuggli decides to take another holiday or something. But yeah, no, definitely, I definitely want to keep him going, because he's quite young. He's like 17, 18, and he's Diamond 3, so he might have loads of potential in the next couple of years to climb high. So it'd be good to keep him going, definitely along with us. Yep.
Kirito, I've got another question for you. The tweet you put out, are you going to keep this hype going and this banter? Can we expect more comments from you if you make it to LAN in the future? Can we expect you to make more comments and things?
Yeah, obviously. Like, I think my team is already pretty good. I know our weaknesses, and our coach knows as well. So if I see the progress, if I see that we have really good chances to beat the top UK teams, which would mean that we have to beat the top Spanish teams on scrims first to prove ourselves that we will definitely be a strong team in the UK League, then I will obviously keep the hype going. But I have no choice anyway, I guess, because if I just back off, then I would be a pussy. So I mean, gotta be strong and just go 100%. Through. Because, like, imagine if we lost the qualifiers.
Yeah,
I would have gotten shitstormed on Twitter. So like, I had to try hard for this qualifier.
Well, even that one game you lost, that got a lot of responses. But
Yeah.
That's the thing, you know. You're taking a gamble. It's a brave comment to make, and it's kind of paid off. You know, so
Yeah,
I'll be
obviously,
there.
like after the first game, everyone was a little bit shaky. But it was not a team composition that we used to practice. So we just went on to the standard team comps that we played in scrims, and then it worked out pretty well.
Sure, and I'll be there. I was going to say I'll be there, ready to retweet you when you decide to make more comments. So yeah, just let me know. Grievance has got another question here. He said, "How much free money do you expect to make in the UK scene, Kirito?"
I have no idea. I can't really, I don't know what to say.
Just see what happens.
It depends. Yeah, exactly. Like the fact that my tweet escalated so quickly. I mean, I'm always open for surprises, I guess.
Yeah, just see what happens, I guess. Sakar1 has got a question he said, Little Miss Naughty Dog. Do you have any coaching hours free to teach him how to one-trick blitz? Hang on, he's got in another question there. The actual question I wanted to ask was, what is your plan for esports for yourself over the next 5 years?
Well, definitely just see how it goes, because obviously everyone wants to like try and be a pro player themselves, but I'm pretty much hard stuck Diamond 5 now. I don't think pro playing is ever gonna happen to me if I can only get to Diamond 5 playing one champion Blitzcrank. So yeah, no, I definitely well, with this opportunity with Radix, with the infrastructure they have in set already, then hopefully I'll try and like use this and get some contacts in the UK industry and other industry, like other countries, to try and build a career of being a team manager. Yeah. Because it seems like people say it's not as fun, but I don't think it's that bad, because I really enjoy League of Legends. Like, I think it's a really good game, and so I don't really mind putting in all the time and effort, getting people like Snuggli to come back from holiday, people Kirito to turn everyone up to scrims and things like that, organising how to get to lands and things. I think it's quite good. So hopefully try and just build on this, try and get a full-time job is really the dream from being a team manager. That's what I want to try and do in 5 years, I guess.
Sure. And in answer to his other question, are you focusing on coaching this team, or do you offer private coaching or anything like that?
No. It's just because I've got it's like 300 games of Blitzcrank this season, so he's just trying to wind me up. Okay. But no, if anyone really wants to learn how to play Blitzcrank to a Diamond 5 level, then I can always give you that. It's top of the range coaching, I guess.
Nice. And the Manimal GG has asked, are we going to see you guys at I61? I know you said you wanted to go to lands in the future. I guess tweaking that question slightly, if you didn't get to the UK Masters finals, which are held at I61, would you still attend as a team to take part in the other tournament there?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I think this one is the one of the bigger ones of the year. I think there's about 3 Insomnias a year in Birmingham, and I think this one's the biggest one in terms of like prize pools and things like that. Because I know the last one, the prize pool was really, really small for League of Legends, which I'm really unsure to why it's so small, but they must have their own reasons. But I think this one's a lot bigger. I think it might be at least 5,000, maybe. I don't know if that's just going to be a random guess. They haven't released it yet. But regardless, anything over 2,000 is probably worth it as a prize pool for us to get maybe some returns at it. So yeah, definitely 100% we'll be going to Insomnia 61 with this UK roster that we've got now. Excellent.
Well, hopefully I'll see you guys there, because I missed this one, I60, but hopefully I'll be there at I61, so it'd be good to say hi. There's another silly question here on the topic of I61. JakeyReynolds is asked, Alex, are you going to get slapped by another meatball mariner? Was there some kind of subway incident or anything?
Right. I can't believe that's got 3. Everyone knows, like at Insomnia, the only thing anyone really eats is Subway. Yeah. For some reason, about 5 Subway stands. Because I went to Insomnia 59 with Jake, with Digital Warfare, and I think what he's referring to is I think I got hit in the face with a meatball marinara from someone in the Subway queue.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, it wasn't the brightest. Got a bit of red red stuff all over my face. Uh,
Was it
but
purpose, or was it just someone randomly chucking it?
No, I think she didn't know I was there and just turned too swiftly with the sub.
Oh,
the
right.
Sort of like clean me in the face, yeah. Yeah, and that's what he was talking about, yeah.
Okay, well, a more serious question now. This is a question from Snuggli for you, Kirito, and it ties in with something I was going to ask, actually. He said, who is the scariest top laner in the UK scene? I was going to ask you as well, you know, have you sort of done a bit of research into other top laners in the UK scene? You know, we've got players like Rifty on M&M Gaming, Kerberos and people like that in the top lane that have performed quite well in the past.
I don't know Rifty, to be honest. I don't think I've ever played against him. I know that Kerberos is a Kayle player, like me. So I don't know if he's familiar with meta champions or if he's just gonna play the cheese champs. So what I would say is that, yeah?
No, I was just going to say, like, his Kayle always gets banned. I don't think I've actually seen him play Kayle because people just ban it because I think he's known as a one-trick Kayle. But at the National University Esports League finals, he played as Jax, and he pretty much carried his team. You could say a cheese champ, but yeah, he was just... The other team were better, in my opinion, but he just kept split pushing and just won them the game 3-0. So, yeah, is that similar to yourself? You played a lot of Kayle, right?
Yeah, I played a lot of Jax as well, to be honest, but I don't think those two champs are that strong in this meta right now. They're much better champions, and if he wants to be one of the best top laners in the UK League, then he has to master the other champions that are good right now, for sure. Then I heard that Blomst of him is coming. I think he's really good mechanically, but in my opinion, he's more of a solo queue player. Like, I've never seen him play a tank. And that he's more likely to go for carries and try to solo carry the team, which is difficult when the enemy has a tank and plays for the team.
Yeah.
Who knows what he's doing.
Okay.
So I think the only top laners that are able to beat me are the ones that have already a lot of team experience and that are able to play not just one type of top laner like carries, but they have to play all roles because I'm very adaptive.
Sure, okay. It's hard for me to keep up with the Twitch chat actually, but Dakinlol was asked, Kirito, can you pin the free money tweet to your Twitter profile until the end of Masters?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay, you know, you've made a name for yourself already in the UK scene with it, so no, that's pretty cool. Theo, I'm going to ask another my sort of last question. There's a bunch of other questions in the chat which I'll try and come to in a minute, but what you know, we were talking about other top laners there, and I know Kirito, you were saying you aren't that familiar with some others yet, but Alex, maybe you can answer this. What are your thoughts on the competition, the other UK orgs? And you know, the well-known ones. You've got M&M Gaming, NerdRage, Enclave, Excel, Esports. Are you familiar with any of those guys, and what do you think of them?
Yeah, definitely. M&M, from what I gather, are going to enter now, definitely. So we think that them, Excel, and the team that's being created around Toaster are sort of like the top three teams to look out for this Masters. From what I know, from what I've seen and heard about those three teams, I think Toaster's going with the Singularity org that are going to try and pick up a UK team. So we think those three teams are the sort of like biggest ones to look out for. Teams like, I think NerdRage, aren't they the Arctic Storm?
Yeah, there was a lot of drama around that this week, but NerdRage have picked them up. So they're the other team that have qualified for UK Masters, so you will be playing against them in the UK Masters. I think they've got a bunch of former Zenix players, like the Prosper and his brother, and Sankus the jungler. So they made it to the finals of the ESL Prem, you know, those players. So they are capable. Yeah,
definitely definitely a very good team there, but we're not sure really like how good their management is, sort of thing. Because obviously, from what we've heard and from what I've seen, personal experiences, their management seems a bit like just not very focused or not very liked, not very I don't know, they just don't seem to be having a very good name for themselves. But definitely the players alone, because I know there was an interview with Inix, or a video about Inix. I remember seeing that he said that Pros Fair sort of like carried Zenix to like the finals of the Prem with like his picks and bans and his shot calling. So that's definitely a team to watch out for. As far as like other teams go, there's like ones like Enclave definitely have risen like quite highly because of their Insomnia win, which was really good for them. And they've sort of swapped around their roster, and we played against them in the qualifiers. So they're obviously like an okay team to beat. Like teams like Bulldog are the same. Psycho, because Psycho got that they beat Bulldog, didn't they, in the Masters? I think Psycho beat Bulldog, which was not what people would have expected. They'd expect Bulldog to play against what was the Arctic Storm game. So yeah, teams like that. Digital Warfare are another one. They came second in Insomnia. They're going to be bringing out a squad soon, I think. Yeah. But apart from that, I don't really know of any other UK teams really, but definitely the Elite Three at the top, the XL, M&M, and the Toaster team are the ones to beat. If you can take a game against them, then that's really good for any team.
I mean, the UK scene, the roster's changed so much each split, guys. You know, it's hard to keep up sometimes for newcomers to the scene like yourselves. It's like I say, it's changed so much in the almost 2 years I've been covering it. Well, the top teams back then are all gone now, you know. But some people joke about the UK scene, but if you look back, Team Infused a couple of years ago had a really good roster, and they had Max Law and Alfari on that roster, who are in the LCS now.
Oh yeah,
you know. So if you're good enough, you will get out of the UK scene. You will get to Europe, you know. Yeah,
that's what everyone wants to do. But from what we've seen, like Riot are starting to invest lots more in the UK scene. There was I saw an advert for a position head of something at Riot. They made a new something in London, a new like office.
That's right. Yeah.
So if that goes to plan and that's like as good as what people say, then maybe there might not be a reason to leave UK to join the European scene, which would be super good, because the UK is all about like console gaming. From what I know, like PlayStation, Xbox, there's all the games like Call of Duty on that are like what's been big in the UK, but PC slowly like drifting up there. But CS:GO is really big, obviously, but like things like Rocket League, Hearthstone, League of Legends. Hopefully, with this new Riot's new interest in the UK, then a lot more money will be in the UK, and the UK scene will be a scene for other teams to try and send their players to, because it'll be the one to know for. That's sort of like what I hope happens.
Yeah, hopefully.
Really.
I mean, I wrote a big article recently, which some of the LVP guys, the co-founder, retweeted, and I was basically saying, why is the Spanish scene so big, and what can the UK learn from it? You know, because like Kirito, like you were saying earlier, they have a lot more viewers. You know, they have a bit more hype. Their casting is very different to ours, you know. It's almost like the Spanish La Liga football, you know. It's just a more excitable kind of casting. There's a lot of differences, but obviously there are some similarities. It's still League of Legends at the end of the day. They just have more viewers. So Riot are opening an office in West London. They're moving some of their staff over from Dublin, I understand, and they want to get closer to the scene here. You know, it can only be a positive thing, I think. You know, they're hiring UK esports managers and league developers and things like that. So who knows what's going to happen? Maybe the prize pools are going to change. I've said for ages, I really want to see this crowdfunding we see in Worlds and some of the other tournaments they do. Why can't we have crowdfunding in the UK? You know, players based in the UK, you know, even if it's 2% of the RP they spend within a couple of weeks goes to a League of Legends championship. Instead of 10k prize pools and 15k prize pools, we could make a 50k prize pool.
Yeah, that's a nice idea.
You know, what do you guys think about that idea?
I think it's really smart to like, because Riot has already a lot of enough money, so they could do that, of course.
Yeah, and what it could do as well is, instead of just creating a platform for people to leave and going to Europe and going to LCS and other teams, people could stick around in the UK scene, right? If they're earning salaries and decent wages, and create more of like an LVP thing. Anyway, that's a thing for another time. I've got a question here from Dakinlol. Was ask Alex if he can explain more about the second team. Do you have a second team, Alex?
Well, we sort of put together an academy team for that last Masters qualifier in about 2 hours before the qualifier, just to see like how it would go and see what would happen with it. Really, we picked up 2 guys that we'd scrimmed against, Elite 1v9, and the mid laner whose name I can't remember off the top of my head, but they both play in the Portuguese league, Portuguese main league. So we just thought, oh, we might as well make a second team, well, academy team, just see how it goes. And they like did really well against Bulldog, didn't beat them, but like for the first 20 minutes or something, it was like really even against a team like Bulldog. So we thought, now that we've qualified, we've got lots of, like, especially as team managers, there's lots of free time to look at other things, and like just to keep yourself entertained, have a look at the other UK talent sort of out there, and to see if we can make anything with a second team. But we're not going to focus too much on it, because obviously now we've qualified for the Masters, we're going to try and put in our like whole all of our focus and effort now into trying making this team as good as it can. But definitely looking into something to do. So hit me up on Twitter if you want to join second team.
Cool. Okay.
Always looking for people.
And Sakar1 has also got another question, this time for you, Kirito. He said, is there a champion you've found hard to adjust to, taking into account the meta at the moment?
You mean a champion who I can't really play well, or?
Yeah, so maybe a meta top laner that you haven't played much before, but you're starting to play now, and you're finding it quite hard to adjust to. You're the free money guy, right? You're not going to find it hard to adjust.
I think the hardest champion for me is Gangplank. I think this is probably the hardest champion for almost every top laner, because his laning phase is weak, and he takes so long to scale, and pretty much every mistake just punishes you so hard that you just become so useless.
Yeah.
So like one failed barrel comp in late game just loses you the game, pretty much. I guess this is the hardest one for me. But everyone else is just a matter of practice. I mean, I learn pretty fast champions because I watch top Korean replays, solo queue players, or just LCK players to see how they play the champion, the mechanics and stuff. So it's not hard to adapt to the meta, to be honest.
Okay, cool. And there's another question from the Manimal for you, Alex. He's saying, do you think you will smash Ashley Haynes' team? That's the Arctic Storm team that have become.
Oh, is that the slip guy? Well, obviously, they've created a lot of hype as well. I don't know how much of it's like true and how much of it isn't true. Not really. I don't really care. Not really too bothered. but beating them obviously will just generate more hype for us. So hopefully we're looking, like, when we've looked at their roster and stuff, obviously they do have good players. You said like Sankus, the Willis brothers. I think that's how you say their name there.
Yeah.
They've got not a bad team. They've got like a challenger AD carry or something. But yeah, they definitely we obviously we think we can beat them, and beating them would be really good for us. So yeah, definitely I'd like to think that we could beat them, but we do know their shot calling is good.
Yeah.
But we still would like to beat them.
JakeyReynolds has also asked, where do you think you'll finish within the UK Masters? You're aiming for a win, right?
Well, obviously, yeah, the free money win. Hopefully, yeah, everyone, no one goes into the UK Masters thinking, well, aiming not to win, but we would like to finish top 4. I think if we finish top 4, then we would definitely have done like well as a team, and I think that it could be a really good achievement if we can get top 4, definitely.
It's a question, another one from Sako. He's asking me, being constantly in the loop, how do you rate the current state of the UK esports scene for League? Is it up, down, or same as it was before? So I'll answer that one really quickly, and then I'll ask you guys what you think of the UK scene. The current state of the UK scene, like, it's hard to say. It is hard to say because it changes so much. I think Team Infused are still probably the best team I've seen. Back in late 2015, they absolutely stomped the ESL split. I don't think they lost a single game. I think they lost one game in the finals. I could be wrong, or they drew. Or I think there was a time where you could draw 1-1 in that split, and I think they drew one. But other than that, they were pretty much they were undefeated, and they were amazing. You know, had Alfari and Maxlaw had such a great, fantastic partnership, and I'm excited to see how they do in the EU LCS now with Misfits. But I think it's sort of averaged out. Like I was saying, where you see teams move out like FM Esports and the likes of Tundra going out, you get newcomers coming in. Enclave have come in and done well. M&M have put together a really great team. Rifty and players like that. Larssen a great player that's come in, who's really young and has made a name for himself, and they're in the Challenger Series qualifiers next week. So, for me, it may seem at the time like when Team Infuse and FM left that the scene was getting worse, and for a while it might have been, but I think it's gone up since then. So it's sort of averaged out, you know. It's about the same really as a whole. So what do you guys think about the UK scene in general? What's your sort of first impressions, you know, as a whole? Maybe not so much the teams in it, but like the UK scene as a whole, like the ESL Prem. What are your thoughts on the infrastructure and stuff?
Well, infrastructure-wise, like the setups, I feel like how it works is good because any team can enter either one of them. Like any team can like do it. I think the Prem one's on the ESL website, and like any team, so you can play against any team, and you have to win like 3 of 5 to go through to the next round. And with the Masters, any team can sign up. There's lots of like lower, like silver, bronze, gold, and platinum teams that sign up, which is really good because that's what you want to see. You want to see teams like that sign up and make it like more teams enter, make it bigger. As far as infrastructure-wise, I think it's good. Like the way it's set up is good. It's just really like when you say that teams leave and players leave to other countries, I think it's purely based on money and things like that. Cool. Because the first place for this Masters is like, isn't it a £15,000 prize pool
overall?
So I don't really know exactly how that's split up.
Do you know what? I can't remember what it is exactly. I think first might be, I don't know if it's like 7 or to 10. I could be wrong. I'll have to double check.
It should be about that.
Yeah,
somewhere between 7 to 10,000, which is a really good first place prize. Well, from a UK tournament, definitely. And then the Prem, whereas we look at it as the Prem is less money, the Premiership, but you get more from it. Like the CSQ spot you get from it is like what is worth. People sell them, but that's worth a lot of money. Well, a lot of money and like exposure and things like that. So they're both like equally weighted, I reckon. Maybe the Premiership's looks more important because of the spot that you get. Like M&M, they're using it this year, aren't they, with their squad?
Yeah.
But I don't know what Kirito thinks, but I think it's not set up too badly. It's just obviously the lack of interest and the lack of money so far.
What do you think,
Kirito? Yeah, definitely. I think the biggest problem is that people just don't know about the UK scene because other scenes are just much more popular. They're already like popular since the beginning. Like Turkish LCS, it's very known. I mean, many people meme about it because it's like low tier and stuff. But if you play in there, people actually try out a lot. They have gaming houses, they have Korean coaches, they have Korean imports and stuff. So when you go to the UK scene, I guess it's just like there are a lot of newcomers, and I feel like any team could win the UK Masters because in the end it depends on which team adapts the best to the meta. And I don't think there's any, like I don't know the rosters, but I don't think that there's any team that is like together for a really long time, right? Because they have a lot of roster changes. This split.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to tell. Like Kadir just recently joined the UK Masters, who is like a really famous player who played Turkish League and for Misfits Academy. But he's playing in a different team than Toaster. So, I mean, since pretty much celebrities, I would say, from other leagues are joining but are not playing in the same team, I guess any team could win.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I wasn't aware Kadir's in the UK Masters qualifiers because he's just joined M&M Gaming.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the CSQ, so I don't know if that's. I'm guessing I don't know if that's allowed. If he can play with M&M in one team and UK Masters with another, I'm guessing he can. But yeah, I wasn't aware of that. So sort of coming to the end then, guys. Last few questions, Twitch chat. If you want to get any more questions in, now's your chance. Try and keep them decent. There's been a lot of meme questions this one. So there's one last question here from Coach Lee Ju Hu. He's from you guys, right? He said,
Yep.
Kirito, when are you ready to show your Soraka cheese pick? And he's also asked, do you think your coach will carry the team to victory?
Yeah, I think he's gonna carry the team to victory because he's a tryhard. He's pretty much the most tryharding coach I've ever had. Because if we lose a game, he just completely puts the blame on himself, not on the players, which is very special. I've never had a coach who was like that. So
yeah, definitely. Lee really he really commits to the team. And if we do lose as a team in like a couple of scrims and stuff, he'll really take it personally, and he'll always have like a backup plan. He writes it on his little notepad, and he'll always have something for us, like something for the team to do. He'll talk to them, explain what went wrong and how he wants to change it. So we're really glad we have him on the team. Really blessed to have him.
Yes.
And also, so you mentioned this Soraka cheese pick. I've seen a few Soraka top lane games on YouTube just as a laugh and stuff, and I've seen it work weirdly. Is that something you've done in the past, Kirito? Would you ever dare pull it out in a UK?
I mean, I played Soraka top lane before the rework when you just press Q and wave clear.
Yeah.
But right now, I think she's really bad on top lane, and his question was just manage a troll.
That's okay.
Because I've never played her top lane after the rework, so.
Okay, cool. And Trillape has asked, do you think it's still going to be free money if Kadir gets into the UK Masters qualifiers?
You mean the AD carry kitty?
Oh, well, I've taken that. He's put Kadir Kadir. I thought that
Kadir,
was the jungler.
Kadir, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, the jung, sorry. I understood kitty. I don't know how good Kadir is in terms of shot calling, but he's strong mechanically, and he's always been a top tier solo queue player, like top 10 and stuff. So I really don't know, to be honest. I think my jungler is pretty solid, and he can pretty much keep up with this guy. And I'm confident that my mid laner will be the best in this league. Like, I'm 100% confident that he is the best, and that the synergy between jungle, top, and mid will just give us high chances to win against pretty much any team in this league.
With M&M Gaming, they have Larssen, the mid laner, who's probably like one of the best in the ESL Prem last split. How do you compare? Do you know much of Larssen? How would you compare Scarlet to Larssen?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen Larssen play in a few games of M&M. It's like at Insomnia 59 when he played, and like people are obviously gonna hate you if you say that, like if you don't think that Larssen is like the best player in the UK. But I'm pretty sure that our mid laner ScarletRedHands is like at that sort of level. Definitely, like easily in solo queue, he's at the same level. And I think that's people are going to be pleasantly surprised when ScarletRedHands plays against like higher tier players, because when we played the French tournament, he was playing against challenger mids and going like 10-0 in games. So
really, wow. Do you have any of those VODs or anything, Alex? I'd be interested to watch a few. Maybe do like a little preview who this guy is.
I think we got streamed every match. So
yeah, I think all the matches got streamed. Yeah, on the Geek Days live. So I'll get our owner to sort you out with that afterwards. Definitely.
Yeah, that'd be great.
He's a really strong like 1v1 player, and he's when he's been working with like Lee and stuff, our coach, and with Demo and with Kirito, he started to come out of like his shell. Yeah, that was it. We've got highlights on YouTube, so we can sort you out with that. Okay. So so he's definitely playing a lot better now when he's with the team. Yeah. So I can't wait to see what he does up against these top tier UK teams, and if he pulls off like a miracle, it'll be fantastic.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. Mayfie's asked, do you reckon Scarlet would win 1v1 versus Larssen? I guess that was kind of what we was talking about. It's hard to say, right? But like you say,
I think he can, though. He definitely can. Yeah,
well,
definitely.
Our mid-lane is kind of the level 2 first blood god, because he almost gets first blood level 2 every game. So
nice.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he can pull it off as well.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's going to beat him every single time, 10 times out of 10, but I definitely think he's got a really good chance of beating Larssen, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then there's the last question here from Snuggli, your teammate. He said, a question for Kirito. Can I duo top with you? Because Lemon Knight is really toxic and might flame me.
Sorry, I don't play 2Q.
Sorry, what was that? I didn't hear that, Kirito.
Sorry, I don't play 2Q.
Oh, okay. Doesn't
And
play duo.
the only champion I play on the duo lane is Kale, and it's not really good with a support.
Okay.
Yeah, him and Lemon Knight and Snuggli give each other a lot of stick, but I definitely think they're going to work well together. And Lemon Knight is like made a new account now. He's definitely playing a lot better. 70% win rate I think he's got so far. So I hope they do really well to hit the bot lane.
Lemon Knight, sorry, I'm just trying to keep up. That is Berserker.
That's Berserker.
So
Lemon
best
Knight.
UK ADC, Berserker, and Lemon Knight.
Yeah, I think Lemon Knight might have been his older name when
That's
he
it.
played with Snuggli in the team, but
Right.
yeah, now he's...
I forgot about that. Berserker, if you're watching, or if you watch this back, a word of advice from a journalist, please stick to one name, because it makes my job really hard. And people flame me and stuff when I get names wrong, like, oh no, that's so-and-so, I can't remember 3 names for everyone. Anyway, that's enough of me moaning. Is there anything else you guys want to add? I think it's been a really good chat. We're coming to the end of the hour. Is there anything we've missed? Anything else you want to add, or?
Yeah, no, not really. Like, if we tweet stuff, like people like Kirito and stuff, like, don't take it 100% serious, I guess, the first time you see it, if like anyone, because I know a lot, so some people definitely got wound up. And we're actually really nice guys, so hopefully we can like make a lot of contacts and stuff in the UK Prem as a team, and try and make a name for ourselves as like a top tier UK team by the end of the Masters and Prem is what I want to stress. Definitely.
To be honest, I really like it when people like trash talk about each other, because it just creates the hype and makes you try hard every single game.
Yeah.
And this is what every league should be, obviously. Because if you watch the Spanish league, they're mostly friends towards each other. So, like, I don't know, the hype is kind of less in game. I mean, people are not try-harding for their fucking life to beat someone. So, I mean, I really like it.
Do you know, I'm really glad you've said that, Kirito, because for me, sometimes I'm accused of stirring up drama and just writing about drama. If you go on Esports News UK, okay, this week's not a good example because there has been a lot of drama this week, but if you go over the past few months and you look at the articles, it's probably like 1 in 10, if that are drama articles. A lot of it is people changing roster or interviews or, a new league's been announced or a new date for the UK Masters or the prize pool. But I'm glad you said that, because... the drama articles are the articles that get most views, right? Because people find it interesting and it drums up hype. So I might use that. I might take what you've said there, Kirito, as a bit of a clip. And when someone moans at me for doing drama, I'm just going to send that clip of you saying it generates hype. And we need more of that in the UK scene, In my opinion.
the best meme is the TSM versus CLG, which is like just legendary. They love to play against each other and always try hard. Or EU versus NA on the MSI.
Yeah.
So, like, people just want to watch it.
Yeah, EU and NA.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we used to have... I think it was Infused versus FM back in the day. And then the rivalry... We don't really have a rivalry now. Zenix and Eminem were in the final, but it wasn't really so much a rivalry. So... Maybe you guys can create a new rivalry with NerdRage or Enclave or Eminem or whatever. We'll see what happens. We've got one last question here. I'll leave it on this one. Matthias said, Kirito, why did you join the UK scene so late?
Why I joined this scene?
Yeah, late.
Why I take it so easily, or...
No. Why you joined? Why you came into the UK scene now? You've been playing since season 1. Why have you joined late?
Yeah. I've always prioritized the bigger scenes.
Yeah.
And now I'm playing in several scenes at the same time. So that's why. Like, I'm getting a lot of offers when I got Challenger this split.
Yeah.
And now I'm just playing for several teams at the same time.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, listen, thanks very much for all your answers today, guys, and for joining me. Thanks for watching as well in Twitch chat. Do check us out next week. We try and do weekly live interviews. I would like to do more, but with everything I've got on, I try and do at least one a week. Usually on a Friday or a Saturday at around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So, yeah, do favourite us on Twitch and check out esports-news.co.uk and follow the guys as well. Their Twitter handles are on the stream, and it's Radix Esports, right? So, yeah, thanks very much for joining us, guys, today.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It was really good. Thank you.
Thanks for the interview.
Cheers.
Right. Cheers.